Welcome to the Anxiety Doesn't Own Me podcast. My name is Emmanuel Isaacson. I'm an anxiety coach who helps people to overcome and heal their anxiety naturally. On today's episode, what we're going to talk about is patience, something that is very, very important for overcoming anxiety. And I'm going to show you why having patience is going to help you, and also how it's going to help you to calm down, and also whenever you don't have patience, how much that it's also increasing your anxiety. So the way it actually increases your anxiety, and I remember whenever I was struggling with anxiety that I was just always anxious to get out of my situation. I wanted this thing gone today. I want it right now. I don't want to be dealing with this anymore. I don't want to be thinking like this anymore. And I don't want to experience these symptoms anymore. I just want it gone. I want this thing out of my life. I want to be the person that I once was. That's what I want. And I know a lot of us want that. We want that. We want that thing to be gone, and that we should just be able to hit the delete button. Just hit the delete button and bye-bye. I never want to think about this ever again. And I can definitely understand where you're coming from, because I know what it feels like. I know exactly what it feels like, and I know how hard it is and how it's just like it's torture that every single day going through this 24/7, especially when you're experiencing, like with me, DPDR, I was like, I'm insane. I'm like, why am I even having these thoughts? So I would try to get out of my situation. Like, I was just so anxious already to get out. But I realized something is that whenever we don't have the patience, whenever we don't, understand or like care for ourselves and able to heal ourselves the right way and building ourselves with baby steps every single day. And that's hard. It's not an easy thing to do, to be able to have that kind of like control, to try to do it every single day, baby steps, in order for us to overcome and heal our anxiety. It is a very hard thing to do. But the thing is, which is very important over here, is that if you continuously put pressure on yourself and don't have the patience, and you're getting frustrated, and of course sometimes that's going to happen, that's okay. That is okay that you're going to get frustrated and you're going to get tired. You're going to feel like you want to give up and it's never going to overcome this, and you just feel like you're defeated, and it's part of it, and that's okay. But the thing is that we need to come back and say to ourselves, okay, I need to be patient with this. I need to have patience with this in order for me to be able to heal my anxiety, because me not being patient is putting pressure on myself, and that's creating more anxiety. That is creating more anxiety whenever you don't have the patience, which is like, it's like counterproductive that whenever we do that. So we want to have patience and instill that within us and take baby steps every single day, taking the right action in order for us to overcome it. So there's definitely a lot of benefits in having patience, because that will keep you motivated and understanding that, you know what? Okay, I'm going through this situation right now. I'm experiencing anxiety. And I know that one day I'm going to be able to overcome it. And we need to talk to ourselves. We have to talk to ourselves and say to ourselves, one day I am going to overcome this. It's going to take time. Instill that in your mind that it's going to take time. It's going to take time. Now, of course, we don't want to be too comfortable and not pushing ourselves and trying to do things. But to understand, whenever you do push yourself and you're trying to do things and things aren't working out, that, hey, you know what? I'm trying over here. I'm trying my best. I'm putting in the effort. I'm putting in the right effort, because a lot of us might do the wrong thing and we're not seeing the results. We want to do the right thing, the right way to do it. So we want to make sure that is happening. And if it is, then hey, you know what? I am putting the effort over here. It's just going to take some time for me to overcome this and to be able to heal my anxiety. It's just the way it is. And that's going to be fine, because again, the reason why we have anxiety in the first place is from years and years and years of stress, worry, pressure, our mindset, our, self-esteem, our self-confidence. So changing all that and be able to repair our sympathetic nervous system, which was handling so much for so many years, it's going to take some time. So we need that clarity sometimes. And I know that it gets hard. It gets hard. It gets to the point that you're like, okay, I'm sick and tired of living like this. I am sick and tired of experiencing this thing, and nobody understands me, what I'm going through. And I'm putting in the effort every single day, fighting with this thing, but I don't see the results. Is there even a way out? I relate with that 100%, like how that feels. And until today, even with things like whenever I do things, I lose my patience. And I think it's normal. People lose their patience. And it's such a hard thing to acquire and to work on. And the thing is that I remember I just like sometimes I fail and I get frustrated and I get annoyed about whatever in general. But it's such a good quality to have and to be able to instill in ourselves that it's going to help us to feel much better, and it's going to help us to actually acquire the things that we want in life. And this can be applied not only for anxiety, but everything else. We might look at something and we're like, oh no, it's too much work. I can't do that. It's too much. I don't want to handle that. It's too much. I just don't want to deal with it. But if we look at it in a way of like, you know what? I can handle it. It's going to take some time. And through that process, I'm going to be learning a lot and I'm going to be growing a lot. And I want to take it step by step every single day, creating every single day, doing things every single day. And eventually I'll get to my goal. And we can apply that with our anxiety and we can see that we actually can get to our goal. Because again, we want to ask ourselves, this is important. We want to tell ourselves and ask ourselves, okay, so far I have not been patient, right? I have not been patient. Has it helped me? It hasn't. It hasn't. This is something we always need to ask ourselves these questions. Have I been doing so far, whatever I've been doing, actually helping me or not? Because if it's not, then we need to change something. We need to change and do something else. But if it is, then great. We can continue that way. But if it's not, we can ask ourselves, okay, you know what? Me being not impatient with my anxiety is creating more anxiety. That's what it is. So, okay, let's try to learn how to be patient. Let's try to be more patient in this situation so that we can actually overcome this situation and also calm ourselves down so that we can feel better. So that we're not putting so much pressure on ourselves in order for us to overcome this. Because we're putting a ton of pressure on ourselves and say, hey, you should be already in a certain place. You should have already overcame your anxiety. You should have already felt much better. Why are you still feeling this way? Is it because you're weak? Is that what it is? You're not capable. You're not smart enough. You're never going to get out of this situation. And that's what the critic tells us. It tells us, hey, you're going to be stuck like this for the rest of your life. You should have already been out of this. You've been dealing with so many years. Why didn't you overcome this already? It makes no sense. No. That's the thing. The critic wants to do that. The critic wants to do that. It wants to keep you where you are. That's its job. It's his role. Its purpose is to keep you where you are and to put you down. And we shouldn't listen to that because we have to bring in our own consciousness and our own thoughts of what we actually are doing and tell to the critic, and not even to acknowledge it, but like tell to ourselves, hey, you know what? It doesn't matter where I am or how many years I've been dealing with this because it's such a hard thing to deal with and it's not a simple thing and it does take time to overcome this. It's not a 1, 2, 3 and it doesn't mean because somebody else took a shorter time to overcome this does not mean that I'm weaker or anything like that. It has no correlation whatsoever. It has no connection whatsoever. Whatever I have done so far is that the best of my ability and best of my knowledge. Maybe I can learn from someplace else or do some other things. That's okay. But it doesn't mean that I should be at this certain age or at this certain time or how many years I'm dealing with. I should be a certain way. There is no proof about that. There is no requirement. And who says that? It's only our critic that makes the requirement, that tells us, you should be this way. You should do this. Or you should do that already. Why aren't you succeeding in this? Why have you not acquired your goal? Why have you not overcome your anxiety? You're going to be stuck like this because you're incompetent or that you're weak. That's what it tells us. And we believe it. And we believe the critic. Because we look at the evidence. We say, that's okay. You know, but actually struggling this for so many years. Yeah, he's right. The critic is right. Yeah, maybe I'm weak because I've been dealing with it so many years and I can't overcome this. No, forget about the evidence. Forget about the evidence. The evidence don't matter. Things can change instantly. I never thought that one day with my DPDR that I didn't even know that was DPDR. I thought it was a side effect of the weed that I smoked, the laced weed, and I thought I just got high from it and I'm going to be high like this for the rest of my life. That's what it felt like because I felt disconnected and I thought reality wasn't real and I didn't understand there was anxiety. But I worked on myself and then eventually I came to the point, I remember when I was walking down the street to my cousin's barbershop and all of a sudden I felt this snap. Boom, I came out of it. I was like, whoa, I don't experience that high anymore. I thought that I was high back then. I didn't realize it was DPTR. I was just working on myself and my anxiety. That's what I was doing. It was an amazing feeling then. It was amazing to feel that way. So my point is that you never know when the situation can actually change. You never know what might actually happen. We just need to put in the effort every single day. We might have failures throughout our journey, but that doesn't mean, it doesn't define who we are. We can't give up. The second we give up is when we fail. You understand? So if we never give up, we cannot fail, and eventually we succeed. Just like I have to overcome my anxiety, I didn't give up. I put in the effort, and I tried to develop myself, and I try to work on myself, and try to work on my, my mindset, and try to cut out certain people and do certain things, whatever it is, for me to overcome it. But eventually I was able to do it, and I had a lot of failures throughout the entire time for the 3 years. It was very, very difficult to go through, and it's not an easy thing. And the critic is going to use that against you. Like, oh, what's the big deal? It's just anxiety. What are you worried about? I know a lot of people tell us that, oh, what's there to worry about? I remember people used to tell me that, like, what are you depressed about? What do you have to be worried about? What do you even have anxiety for? Why do you even feel this way? That's what people used to tell me. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe they're right. No, they're not right, because I can guarantee it. If they actually experienced what we experienced, they would not say that. They would not say that for a second, because they understand the pain. They understand how hard it actually is to deal with, because it literally feels like your mind is playing tricks with you all the time, constantly. And that's hard to deal with. So my point over here is that we need to be patient with ourselves and give ourselves compassion and care, and ignore the critic, and don't care how many years you've been dealing with this, but just work every single day towards the goal. Take baby steps every single day, and this will help you to take off the pressure so that you're able to re-heal your sympathetic nervous system and overcome your anxiety. If you are looking for a natural remedy in order to help you to calm down your anxiety and also to provide you a good night's sleep, I created a CBD called Calmly CBD specifically to help people that are struggling with anxiety and have a hard time sleeping. It took me over a good year to find the best farmers and to produce this CBD in order to help you guys with your anxiety. You can click on the link below to place an order. They are on sale right now, so take advantage of that while it's still available. If you did like this episode, please click the like button and leave a 5-star review. The reason why I ask is because I want to reach more people, because the more people we can reach, the more people that we can help, because my mission in this world, my purpose is to help people to overcome their anxiety naturally. Take care, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.